I'm gonna give it to you straight. If you're not listening to Feral Activity Podcast, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, but you need to stop whatever it is you're doing and go listen to Feral Activity Podcast right now. Right now, it's Feral Activity.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, hello everybody. Welcome to the first ever live episode of Feral Activity Podcast. I am one of your co-owners, the Monarch, otherwise known as the modern day Noah. I have beside me my wife, Sachi Ice Queen. And in that rise of right now, we are trying to get the rest of our guests up into our panels. Please do understand that this is something we are trying to work through, and we hope to make it bigger and bigger each week and every day that we do. So, guys, without further ado, we will be getting this rolling. I'm going to do an intro, kind of let you know where we started with all this, how we are coming to be, and give you guys a little bit of a background of what we're doing here. So, please understand that if we are not reading your comments out loud, it is just because we are in a podcast setting. We don't think that we don't recognize you, don't think that we don't see you. We do care about you, your viewing, and your support in what we are doing. So, without further ado, we decided to start this podcast, honestly, just about how any other podcasting group starts. But big group of friends decided that we wanted to do something fun and different, feral, kind of where part of the name come from, which you'll be hearing a little bit about some of the feral behavior as we go on. We have a few different guests tonight, but me and my wife, we decided we wanted to do something really great with our friends. And so we decided to go through and start setting emails up, start setting things up to where we could get this done. So we are the voices of the jungle. We are going to bring you feral activity every week possible. So I'm going to hand this over to my wife, and she is going to continue on from here. I am pretty much your MC for the night. So in between each guest, I will be popping my 2 cents in, kind of giving my layout of what's being talked about, what's being said, and what I'm going to rate that feralness at. So, without further ado, here's my wife, Sachi.
All right, so everyone, I just wanted to. Lower your volume. Sorry, we're still having some technical things, and hopefully by the next episode, you guys it'll be a little bit better. This is actually the first time that we've ever done a podcast on TikTok. For the past ones, this is technically my 4th podcast that I've been producing and doing the back end of things. And me and Monarch, we do Learning with Faith, where we get to talk about relationships and a lot of different things with family. And then, of course, if you speak Spanglish or Spanish, of course, Transcending La Familia is the other one that I also produce. And then once upon a time, there was one called Moving Mountains for You, and Monarch was also part of that one as well. And so it's just been a very interesting journey being a podcaster, and then going just from being a podcaster to an actual producer and having to do all the logistic sides of things. And so hopefully eventually everyone will able to, be able to produce their own. That's my goal. I'm kind of teaching, a little bit. Definitely wanted to say that we appreciate everyone that's come together to do this, because it's not easy sharing your personal stories, but I think it's going to be a fun time, and we're going to have some laughs. We're going to have some oh my gosh moments. So just get ready. Today, the main people that are going to be sharing their stories and things is going to be our tight little group. And so we have a few guests we have lined up. So I'm super excited for you guys to meet each one of them. And Lorinda's one of the ones that she was part of the reason that inspired this, because just one, how feral she is herself, but two, also she's just just a joy to be around if you get her her humor and everything. And I just definitely want to give her flowers, how they would say in the clubhouse days. But she's an amazing person, and she's gonna be the first one to share one of her feral stories, because we've heard a few of them. And yeah, so get ready, and um, you're in for a bumpy ride. Go ahead, Lorinda.
I didn't know I was sharing. Okay. Like which feral story are we going with? Okay, this one time I was having sex with a guy and we decided we were gonna like try butt stuff, and well, we got these heart-shaped like pink butt plugs. And I put one in and he was doing me doggy style and my butt sucked it up and I made him dig it out.
Supposed to be unmuted.
That's all I got. Up the top of my head. What about you, Gummie? Okay, I need someone else to speak now.
That is kind
Well,
of.
I don't know about you guys, but talk. If you did butt stuff and it turned out wrong, I think you were doing butt stuff wrong in the first place.
I probably was.
I mean, sorry guys, I didn't realise I was muted. It's okay though. First of all, okay, that's where we're starting. Alrighty then. Wow.
Oh my gosh. You said feral. I went as feral as you could go.
Do you understand? You understood the assignment, my friends. You were bob on that money. Oh, see, this is why. That's one reason why I'm afraid of the old anal stuff. Like, precisely why I'm like, oh, I am. Do you know what I can't do? What I can't do is suck a fist or a finger or a thumb or something into me asshole, including an anal plug, please. Oh, wow, nice. Diamond and all.
Diamond and all.
But yeah,
Look, I don't know about you guys, but putting a diamond in your butt, I would not recommend doing at home. Like
I mean,
honest to God, guys, let's really get juicy with this. Like, honest to God, and now, mind you, this is for the viewers. This is a question for all the viewers who are going to see this. What is honestly the worst sexual interaction that you've had with somebody? It doesn't matter where or when. It was just god awful, horrible.
Somebody tried to eat me out and bit me clit, but like bit it, like not like gentle. Like he was a savage dog and bit it. I was like, when you go, and he thought it was something like I was happy about it. I was not happy. I was so not happy. Anywho. Hey.
Like, and it's just, we really want to, people to know that, in life, you're going to come across certain instances where everything doesn't always go the way you intended. Sinner, have you ever had, a date or, just a interaction where, things just really didn't go according to plan, so to speak?
I guess there was one time where I was really drunk and he was drunk, and he was probably the biggest I had been with, and he really wanted to do. Oh my god! He wanted to do anal, and he like finished and stuff, and I didn't know you were supposed to like prep before you do anal, like if you're doing it properly. And I got shit all over his dick, and he passed out drunk, and I'm left trying to clean it all up while drunk. And yeah, that was great. That was never again.
I've got a story where, oh my god, she had OF before it was OF, okay, and this particular guy, they'd done anal a few times, and for whatever reason, she'd had spicy food that day, and she shit, like as she stood up, she shit on his chest.
She what?
Emptied out. Another reason why Danielle or Gummie is a virgin where anal is concerned, because there's a scary story that. Yep. So that's just reminded me. Never eat spicy food, guys. Not spicy foods. Jesus.
Hey guys, here's a better suggestion. How about we don't, give the sticky ditty icky a try, and how about we just do our research before we try things?
Where's the fun in that?
Well, look, I'm so glad that our amazing Cactus Queen has an input about shoving things somewhere where they don't need to be.
I'm gonna shove a cactus somewhere it doesn't need to be in a second.
Tell me more.
It's gonna go up your ass. Fuck around and find out.
I mean, is it gonna go sideways? Is it gonna go long ways? Is it gonna?
I mean, I'm not gonna give it to you sideways. I still want your
are
wife
you
to
gonna
get use
shave
out of
the
it.
cactus?
Oh no! If your wife wants it shaved, she can ask.
But no, honestly, let's share with the viewers, because, let's just be real. There are some shit-ass people out there, no pun intended with what was just said a minute ago. But, a pun is intended. There are just some shit people out there. And, what advice can we give to these people?
Don't do anal.
Don't do it,
You heard it here
first. Unless you prepare beforehand.
No. Even then, maybe not, because you might suck shit up. Like it might go and find a place and live inside you then, and then you've got to have somebody take it out of you. That's whole new level. So you know what? Anal might be out. Might be.
With a flared base.
A flare. Oh
okay,
my
first off, that heart butt plug had a flared base, and my asshole still went.
Make that sound again.
You know what I mean?
It sounds like you're suctioning a damn freeze-dried bag.
That's what it felt like, because it was entering my butthole.
Wrong hole.
To be honest, my see the way I can't even talk because of it. Do you remember?
My mama said,
Lorinda, do you remember when you told me about 2 full-grown raccoons can fit in there? Yeah. I've had to Google that shit since, and I've not been able to sleep. That's the most.
You thought I was lying?
Look. What's in your Google search history? I'm not sure everybody wants to know.
I mean, I asked ChatGPT last year what my most outrageous question was, and it literally said, "Does testicles taste?"
Does testicles? Wow.
Does testicles have taste buds? Does testicles have taste buds?
That is insane.
Well, I don't have them. So I had to ask.
My question is, what provoked you to ask Google what testicles taste like?
I said, no, if testicles can taste.
If testicles, they don't have taste buds.
Well, I watched a video of this dude sticking his nutsack into fucking soy sauce and he tasted it in his mouth, so I was curious.
I mean,
Want to know?
again, what provokes that sick little twisted mind that you have to know about testicle tasting?
I just wanted to know. I don't have testicles. I didn't have testicles to stick in some soy sauce to find out, so I asked.
Well, I mean, I'm a man and I don't have breast assist, okay? But you don't see me wondering how you play with them.
Well, you have nipples. Just play with them.
I have areolas.
Well,
I
twerk
have
them
what you
nipples.
call MIPS, you know,
Twerk them
man
nipples. You can twerk the nipples. Flick the nipples. Flick them.
You can twerk the nipples. You can flick the nipples. What the fuck is this? A fucking
Flick the bean like you flick the string.
like I feel like we're doing a prep video for fucking masturbation. What are we doing here, people?
We're doing a masturbation video for nipple play.
Nipple play.
Nipple flaring. Oh my god.
Jesus.
You know, the more I sit and think about it, I'm starting to question all this.
I mean, you started it, so we're just finishing.
You're not wrong. Yes, you know, that is someone that we will be introducing whenever she makes her way in here is Mim.
Yes.
Mim can tell you a lot about a lot of people like that.
Well, it's not about a lot of people like that. I suppose it's a lot of, she's been introduced to a lot of kinks and people's sexual fantasies. Do you understand what I mean? Which is crazy. Because obviously sexual fantasies are very personal things.
Okay, so the more I think about it and I get curious, you know, y'all because I'm the only male in this whole group, you know, just my fucking luck.
Right.
Are you calling Fox chopped liver? I'm telling Fox you said that.
Ooh.
Fox didn't start this. We all started this.
He's still
Fox
one of
can
the
eat my
guys in the
cactus.
group. He's still one of the guys in the group.
He's association.
You're not alone. You're not the only.
You're not alone. What am I, an orphan?
Not anymore. You got Fox.
You know, so this is a question I've been questioning myself asking this question, and I'm probably not going to like the answers, but I'm going to ask anyway. So, from the female perspective, what is the first thing that goes through your mind when you have a feeling of intimacy for a man?
Not really a thought. It's more like a wetness between my legs.
It's more like, am I going to spider monkey his face?
Pretty much.
Sinner, what's your input on this? You haven't said much yet.
These two fuckers.
Can we repeat the question again so I can really
what for you as a woman, you know, what honestly, where does the attraction come from? Like, honestly, when you see a guy, you know, where does that main attraction for you personally come from? Because you know, this conversation gets construed from the male perspective and the female perspective. So, you know, let's try to provide a little bit of both for all the viewers.
Where does it come from? I mean, I know what it feels like.
Well, yeah, we'll start there.
I guess butterflies in my stomach, and then probably next would be a straight shot of heat in my vagina.
So what you're saying is, whenever it happens, you're like a stray dog going into heat, and you just like, I need a dick.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly worded that way, but yeah, pretty much the premise. Yeah. I've watched a man walk down the road before now because he's like, it's the way they hold themselves, their smell sometimes. I don't know, it just depends
I
really.
don't do it with only men. I do it with women too. I see a woman with a nice ass. I'm like, hey, look at that ass. I'm no better than a man.
You are no better than a man, to be honest.
I will elbow you and go, look at the tits on her.
My niece walked in to a lot, or rolled into one of the lives, and this one went off.
She had big tits.
I mean, I don't know, babes. It's my niece, but okay, I'll have to.
They were fucking huge. It was her entire profile picture.
Oh God.
You
Swiping,
could not
swiping,
notice
swiping.
them. Like you could not notice them. All right, it was the first thing you see in the picture. Her face might have been the first thing you see as her aunt, but not as her aunt. That is not the first thing I saw.
Who's not really on that side of the world. Do you know what I mean? Not the aunt that lives in the vicinity. I'm the aunt that lives external.
I'm being kicked out of a box.
Why? I'll get kicked out of a box, you.
Wait a second. Who? How?
She's getting kicked out and coming over to your side.
Oh yeah. You just put the cactus toucher on my side.
Mim can come up into a box. When somebody
The
else
one that threatens to touch everybody with a cactus.
Because I know everybody's got to have
Got thrown out of a box. Sachi's getting the cactus.
That's right. My wife's getting the cactus.
It might be a mini cactus, but she's getting some cactus.
Hello, you
She's sitting in the front seat, and I'm gonna poke her with it.
Do you know what I mean? Absolute fucking feral cat in here, mate. Mim, me fucking yow.
Hey.
What are you, a country cat? Meow.
Oh no, you want to hear some of how the cats fucking meow around here?
Fucking meow.
They are so weird.
All right, guys, we do want to bring in our next panelist guest. Her name is Mim, and Mim is quite an interesting human being. Let's see what Mim's shedding of light looks like on this subject.
Hey, Mim.
Hey, how are ya?
We're good.
Hi, Mim.
Hello, ferals.
Meow.
Mim is feral, but she's calm about it. It's interesting.
She's an adult feral cat.
So what you're saying is she came out of the Mad Hatter's hat.
Yep.
No, I wear it.
She does. Very well, I might add.
You know, Mim, the question I was asking some of the other girls was, from a woman's perspective and feeling in the matter, what's the first thing that goes through your mind whenever you see a man? It's just like, oh my God, what goes through your mind?
Well, I like both.
Well, do with it as you will. Like I said, people, she is interesting.
What goes through my mind?
Yeah.
If I'm interested in them, they got to turn me on intellectually before they can turn me on downstairs in my lady garden.
See, and it just goes to show that honestly, it's not always about, the sexual attraction. There has to be, the intellectualness. I'll be the first to admit it. That was kind of key in mine and my wife's relationship. My wife didn't really want just, a man. She wanted a man that could keep up with her intellectually as well. And she'll tell you that was part of her list.
Also, too, it's if they can keep up with my attitude, like if they can give me lip, basically, like if they're mouthy and they can keep up with my mouth, then they'll have my mouth too.
I mean, and so another question that we were talking about, Mim, like out of which I'm sure you've got some extraordinarily good ideas of what I'm about to ask, but what was one of the weirdest sexual encounters you've ever had in your life? Like just all out, oh my God, I can't believe this shit's happening. Just fucking weird.
In my personal life or in my work life?
Either one.
Okay, so my work life, it would actually have to be a very prominent politician That's in Australia. And he was one kinky fuck.
Oh, pray
Because,
tell.
well, when they come into my dungeon, they have to fill out a questionnaire. And he ticked every single fucking box. Anywhere from being dominated to being degraded to basically shitting on a fucking, sorry, I swear a lot, shitting on a table and then putting himself under the table and wanking himself off while he was singing the Australian anthem.
That is a little odd.
It's different.
It's different.
It's very different, and it's very hard to compose yourself when he's
I'm
sorry.
trying to compose my brain cells to comprehend what you just said.
Well, most want, either whippings or spankings or acting like a baby or a dog or a cat or a koala bear. Um, but this guy was freaky as hell. The more I let him unleash himself, and I mean in like his mind, his sexual fantasies were, let's just say, filthy. Absolutely worse than getting mud on your pants on a rainy day. He was pretty much, how can I put it? It makes me laugh. This is all while he's dressed like a transgender person with electrodes connected to his nutsack and a butt plug up his ass that was also connected to electrodes. And there's certain levels that I take them up on. Like I start very low, and the highest that you can get to is to 200. And that doesn't sting, that burns. But he was all for that. And how he'd relieve himself, because I do not have sex with my clients. That's what subs are for. That's what my employees are for. I just instruct what they need to do. I didn't really have to instruct him. His kinkiness even made me sit down and be gobsmacked half the time. Mm.
That is honestly one of the most horrifying things I've ever fucking heard.
Why? Because of electrodes?
Just the fact that he's putting anything in his ass and whacking off to it. Like, I mean,
God
this
damn
is
it.
some weird shit.
This is where the male G spot is.
Yeah,
In
no,
your
I get
ass.
that. God cursed us with that part.
Mm.
I have a
God made it
question.
easy for women for women to find theirs, but oh no, he screwed men whenever he decided where ours goes.
I have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I want my wife to turn me on. Stick something in my butt.
Oh, you don't have to ask twice then, hey?
I
I got a
mean,
question.
you're never gonna hear a normal straight man just say, "Oh, babe, put it in my butt. It hurt. It feels good."
Uh, do you want to bet on that?
No, not me personally. Not with the shit you've probably seen.
Oh, yeah, literally. Um, no, I'd say most of my clientele is probably 95% straight males.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. And the higher profile they are, the kinkier they come.
That is so like not what I was expecting you to say. Like that is rather intriguing and interesting, but also my mind is just like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, they come to me to unleash their fantasies and their kinks, and I'm only too happy to oblige if they pay more money. But like, there's certain things that I won't agree to, and there's certain things that I will agree to, and sometimes even and I'm trained, that I actually have to look up because I have no idea what they were talking about. And I'm pretty much a kinky bitch or biatch or whatever they say. But yeah,
Depends on
no,
which white girl you're talking to.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, but mostly my clientele is very high profile. I was saying in I can't remember whose live it was, is that I had a very well known, worldwide known singer, and he came probably about 3, 4 hours before his concert. Why, I don't know, but yeah, but for the persona that like people know him for, he is a very straight, well-known, attitudey male um, that thinks he's an alpha, but he's really not. And he ended up collapsing on stage when he was singing. But he was all right. Like, he's just kind of, his legs went from underneath him, so he had a 5 minute break and then came back and finished his concert. But the only thing that I'm worried about is I never got that butt plug back.
That was the only
I
thing you were worried about. You didn't get the
Oh
butt plug
shit!
back.
I was
Did you want
with
it?
with all my clients, I do aftercare, but I'm not responsible for making sure that all the butt plugs are where they need to be and, like, sterilized and everything. And yeah, it was one of my favorite butt plugs to shove up someone's ass. Well, I think he should give it back, or at least buy me another one was as good as that. I'm gonna get one that's like looks like a cactus.
Oh God, and here we go with the cactus shit again.
Oh, and in one of the lives, Lorinda gave me these great ideas.
Look, I'm
Actually,
So,
sure
Riz
Lorinda
made
has
the
a lot to do with
prototype.
cactuses.
Riz made the prototype for that idea. Have you seen it?
yeah, no, I have not. I have not
It
had the
is
pleasure.
it is magical. I'll have to send it to you.
Absolutely
Oh, please.
diabolical.
So it literally does what he says it's going to. Um it's so cool. It opens so it looks like the butt plug, and then when you stick it in, you turn the thing and it slowly opens into like a demigorgon like flower like thing.
Oh,
Oh, it's so
oh,
awesome.
I'm so buying that off him.
I
It
am so
is
terrified of where this
so
conversation
cool.
has went.
Absolutely. Wait till you see it, man. Wait till you see it.
You know what, Mon? I'm not
Terrorized.
sure that I want to see
Horrifying.
this shit.
I'm sending it. Oh, what do you mean? You're not seeing shit? I'm gonna send this to you personally. You're seeing it.
I hope the fuck not.
That's your wedding presents. Are you kidding
I
me?
may have to resort to blowing my brains out at that point. Because I will not be able to unsee what you women are trying to show.
Hey, look, I was just casually on a live and I was forced to see it. So don't you even.
You were forced to see it. I'm being forced to hear about it. I think hearing and seeing are the same thing.
That's all right, Mon. We
Nope.
can. We can
Nope.
just make sure that you have a safe word.
A safe word. Yeah,
Oh, there's no
peaches!
safe.
Peaches!
There's no safe word with that. One twist and your freaking rectum will be ripped up to
one twist. Did you have to? Did you have to? Twist.
Twist and shout.
It's a slow release one as well. Like, so, wait.
He will definitely do.
Yeah,
twist
did you
and
see the
shout.
points on the thing? The opening?
Oh, I can't wait.
So I have a
That is
question.
diabolical.
When the video started, like, he was showing us on, I was like, oh. And then, me spirit and my soul was like, oh, I feel, wow, that hits. Like, seriously, nope.
It is amazing, my clients, how much that they can take pain.
I do have a question though. Have you ever had a client that really just fucking pissed you off? And did you lose your temper?
It's not about losing my temper. I can compose myself quite well.
Okay.
And you have heard me instruct my clients.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
we've all heard that.
yeah, yeah. And that my tone of voice changes completely.
Yes, it turns me on. But that's not the point. The question was, has a client ever pissed you off really bad?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that would have been last week.
Nice. And how do you handle that type of situation in that moment? Like, because I know you don't let your emotions take control because you have years of experience, obviously.
Yep.
So in that moment, when you're feeling that surge of anger, how do you let it like not erupt?
Depending on how much they want to be degraded, I can get filthy. I can get absolutely filthy where my, how would I put it? I channel my inner demon madam.
Oh, okay.
It's I don't like to bring it out very often, but when it's unleashed, when it's not even about them pissing me off, it's more about the disrespect that they show. And if they want to be bratty, that's fine. I can take the brat out of them. But if they are like a chauvinistic or narcissistic, that really pisses me off. But then I channel that into, okay, that's fine. Now it's my turn.
That sounds hot.
And, and it kind of like I don't get anything sexual out of it. I don't get I don't get wet from it. You know, I've trained myself not to,
Okay.
but which is a very hard thing to do because brain connected to Lady Garden means slipperiness.
Yep.
But in saying that, you've got to you have to think of the most degrading shit that you would not like. And this one last week was an absolute nutcase. Absolute, like I've never really come up against someone like that. Let's just say that he got suspended in the air with the biggest butt plug that I could find in my goodies chest. Electrodes on every sensitive part, and basically I didn't work him up to 200. I just went straight to 200.
Ooh.
And it made the lights like flicker. It was good.
Sounds like it was.
I have a question. Have you ever had more than one client at the
Yes.
same time?
Yeah.
Is it
I've
usually
had
like couples or like?
it can vary. It can go from heterosexual couples to gay couples to transsexual or transgender. Sorry, I'm old school. I say transsexuals. Um, to group sessions. Like the most that I've ever had in a group session is up to 15 people.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And you've got to be on your toes and you've got to basically command the room. And the more people there are, the kinkier it gets.
So, flip side to Lorenza's question, she was talking about people pissing you off. Have you ever
Mm.
walked out of a session so turned on that you've had to go and be dumbed by somebody else because you've been so turned on? But not in a like, so when you go to other people, I understand. When you go to work, I understand you're not a dom, but you are that energy.
Yeah, it's
Dominant
it's
energy.
it
Do you seek out being the submissive energy when
yes,
you're so
sometimes.
when you are in work and you're super tense, like do you have to sometimes go home and you know get a session going for yourself?
Yes.
What does that include? Sorry, nope, that's too personal. That
No,
was
no,
that.
no, no, no. Hey, no, it's feralness. There's nothing wrong with asking questions,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty much an open book.
Hmm.
The only thing is that I don't give my clients' names out and stuff
Of course.
because yeah, yeah, pretty much that guy that pissed me off so much. I rang one of my fuck buddies,
Hmm.
and yeah, and like it's a release for me from having to be like so much in control that it was so nice for just someone else to take over so that I could release anything that was in my head and just have my brains fucked within an inch of its life. And I can get pretty fucking kinky. Is he there?
Oh yeah, sorry, babes.
Oh,
I'm muted.
sorry.
I'm muted. I'm muted myself. Oh no, I think Sashi muted me because I was making noise. I'm humming along. Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, yeah. It's as much as people don't. There's a lot of people out there that don't understand that I'm a madam.
Yes.
I'm higher than a dominatrix,
Hmm.
but I know the personalities of the people that I will release myself to.
Okay.
And like in lives, you've talked to me, and I've just been me, and then
Yes.
then you've seen me switch straight into being a madam.
Of course.
But it's so nice just to, and you know that I don't say this. Like, I don't like people calling me this in the live or anything like that. But if it's in my bedroom or their bedroom, you know how nice it is to be called kitten or baby girl? Like, people don't,
I do.
people, yeah, people don't expect that from me. And I can flip and go from being the madam to just wanting to be held and having my brains fucked out of me. Like, do you guys understand that, or you got more questions about that?
Well, I've been sitting here listening myself,
Mm.
whenever, so how is it whenever you're interacting with someone who's never run into someone like yourself, like with what you do for work? Like, I mean, I'm sure you get a lot of like first timers, so to speak? How do
Yes.
those interactions normally go for you?
Well, for the clients?
Correct.
Okay. Well, before I even like go from my normal day job to my spicy work, they fill out questionnaires and stuff of like, have they ever been to see a dominatrix, and if they go tick and it's like, well, have you ever seen a madam? And most of them are just like, oh, what's that? And it's explained to them. But with the newbies, um, basically you've got to like a baby, you've got to start from the very beginning. And if some sessions can last up to 5 to 6 hours, and that's exhausting. Like I come home absolutely drained of mentally and emotionally and physically, and you've got to, there's different levels, and you've got, if you know what you're doing, is that you build them up to where they feel safe, where they feel that they're allowed to release some of the stuff that's in their own heads. It's just like reading a really good book, is that you want to turn to the next page, but you've got to finish the page that you're reading, and you never know what's going to be on the next page. So with that, it's building them up to where they can live out their feral, kinky fantasies, and that they feel safe in doing that. And I provide that for them, because it's a major trust to see someone and tell them what they want, and then building them up to where they can live out that kink and that fantasy, but also not feel guilty about it. That's where the aftercare comes out, and they see a very different side of me when I do aftercare.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Sinner and Lorinda. So, out of curiosity, do y'all have any questions for Mem, regarding this?
I've got a million more.
I would like to know, how did you get started in this?
Yeah,
Like,
there's an interesting question
That
right
was
there. How
like
did you get started?
Yep.
I went. This is after my marriage breakup. That was a really bad situation. I actually went to a place. It's kind of like a club, and it's called Hellfire. And I had no idea what it was all about. A couple of the gay guys that I hang out with went, "Come on, Mim, let's go." And I'm just like, "Well, where the hell are we going?" And when I was stepped in, I was like a deer in headlights. I was just like, my eyes, my mouth was open, and I'm just like, what? Where am I supposed to look? What am I supposed to do? And I walked past this guy. He was, damn, like he was hot, but he commanded such a presence without even saying anything. And I kept on walking through this club and kept on. He was kind of like my own personal heroine. I couldn't get enough of his energy. And I ended up talking to him and finding out that he's very interesting, and he spotted something within myself. And so he became my master. And he was the one that actually took me from being submissive to a subdom to a dominatrix to a madam. And all up, that took about 8 years in training.
that is
And
really interesting.
That is
and I've
incredible.
I've never looked back. And I do get judged a lot when people find out what my spicy work is, because most think that I'm pretty much a hooker, a prostitute, and it's just like, no, I don't have sex with my clients. That's what subdoms are for. But to release myself, if what I've done, because I'm a sadistic little bitch, and to release myself, then I have to organize something, like sometimes I just go home and I have quiet time. There's other times where I fuck myself within an inch of my life. But then there's also certain people that I know that are going to fulfill my fantasies and stuff like that. It's,
Hey,
yeah,
so Mim, one of my good
sorry.
friends,
Yes?
Chaos, she asked a question in my comments.
Okay.
She's like, "Where would you place yourself now, coming from being a sub to a dom now,
I'm not a dom, I'm a madam.
a madam?"
Yeah. A madam is higher than a dominatrix.
She commands more respect.
Yeah. I a dominatrix will walk around and try to be an alpha female. I am an alpha female, and part of both my jobs coincide. Is that my main job is I'm a senior prison officer, and I run and manage the life sentence unit at the prison I work at, and it's a male security prison. But then when when I leave that job and I go into my dungeon, I I own that dungeon. I might rent out the space, but I own that dungeon. That is mine. I paid for all the equipment. I paid for everything, and it it takes a good master to recognize what they can help bring out of you. And then I've taken that knowledge and I opened up my own dungeon, and I'm forever busy. I'm always exhausted, but fuck yes, it is a great job.
Can I ask, Mim, what makes a madam higher than a dom?
Training, more years of training, and a dom. Most doms, most dominatrix, they work in dungeons or Kingfests or whatever, but they try to live that life outside of their dungeon or the dungeon that they work in.
You
I
know,
myself, yeah,
ironically, Mim, that was going to be a part two to Chaos's question
okay, yep,
because she
yep,
asked, "Do
that's
you
cool.
find yourself going back to submission outside of work?"
Sometimes, just sometimes. It's more. How do I put this? My
Mental break.
personality. Sorry.
A mental break.
Yeah. I don't have meltdowns and I don't take out on other people uh, what I do for work, but it's sorry, I'm just trying to find the words. The composure and the energy that it takes to leave my madam role. I've learnt to leave my dungeon bag at the front door and pick up the mim bag so that I'm not commanding everybody to do my will. and it can like when I first started becoming a madam, it was very hard to decipher within myself which bag I was carrying, and it was a mental fuck up really until I truly understood it myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so DOMs tend to be that all the time, and you're able to compartmentalize from it
Yes.
when you
Yeah,
walk out of the door.
pretty much. And I find like if I'm invited to parties or I just turn up anyway because I don't care whether half the time I don't care whether they've invited me or not, I'm going to attend. Um, that they try to dom me, and if I, what we call old school, which is old school BDSM, and then there's new school BDSM. Old school sticks to the rules, and we honor it and we respect that. Where there's a lot of new school DOMs that try to twist it to their own advantage, and that's not how BDSM works. Because I don't know if anyone knows this, but the submissive actually has all the power.
I guess I want to
Like,
know how. How do they have all the power?
well, you talk about safe words. You talk about what they're into, what they don't, what they're not into, what they will allow, what they won't allow. It's not about me breaking their spirit. It's about me respecting them and showing them how to open their mind and their sexual fantasies and feel safe in that space, and know that I'm not going to go to a TV station and go, hey, guess what? I just saw such and such, and geez, she is a kinky little fucker. So yeah,
Well,
it's a very hard thing to do, but good friends to talk to that know my work and know how to bring me back into mim mode instead of madam mode.
well, and it gets really interesting the more and more we dive into this, but
Yeah.
I'm derailing just a little bit myself
No, no,
because
no,
definitely,
that's fine.
Mem, be sure to save some more for us for the next episode.
Oh,
Um,
I've got heaps.
we can't wait to hear them. Next,
No,
we want
that's
to
okay.
talk about our next guest, Hoosier Girl. Believe it or not, it was because of her that we met Mim, and so it definitely has formed a interesting bond with us
Hmm.
uh, in this conversation and how we got to meet each other. So we definitely want to bring her up and let her share some juiciness with us tonight. Go
Go
ahead, who's
for
your
it.
girl?
Well, thank you. That was quite the introduction, and you're welcome. It just happened randomly that I was going into, I think it was Sinner's Live, and Mim messaged me, said she was bored, and what was I doing? I said, oh, I'm in this girl's Sinner's Live. You're welcome to come in and see if they'll let you up, and that's how it all started, and that's how we got here.
Mm.
And I'm glad, and I've told them all, I re-downloaded TikTok not too long ago, and I'm glad I did because I met all of you beautiful people, and I'm really happy that I got to know. I'm getting to know you guys. So
Likewise.
yes, thank you.
And I thank you for that introduction.
Of course, of course.
Like,
That's what,
like major respect.
oh, thank you. That's one of the things I love about TikTok. It unites people from all over the world, all different walks of life, and it boggles my little mind that we're talking to somebody who's literally on the other side of the world right now.
Yep.
It's very
One
interesting.
one very kinky and
Mhm.
sorry, one very kinky but interesting Aussie.
Yeah, I guess one of my questions, I don't know if I asked this to you yet, ma'am. What made you want to become a madam? What made you want to get into that world?
As I was saying before, with my master, like I still call him master because that's a respect thing.
Hmm.
But he saw something, he recognized something in me. So I was a little brat, and then I became a dom. Sorry, I became a sub, and he still recognized stuff within me that I didn't even know was within me.
I get
And
that.
yeah, and he educated me, and he showed me exactly what I could open my mind to.
Okay. What
Mm,
and
mm.
how does one be like? What makes you a sub? What makes you in all the different levels? And is there a way you can change levels? Can you be knocked down a level?
You can if you want it,
Okay.
and you usually have to talk to, like, for example, my master. He was in charge of his dungeon,
Okay.
and you talk to him, you open up to him, and he very very into my master is a very in, intellectual guy,
Okay.
full of knowledge. I still, as a madam, will go to him and ask him questions of some stuff that I don't understand, or that I can get his advice on how to bring it into my dungeon.
Interesting. Do you ever have, I guess, I don't know how to word it, like maybe a regret on getting into this world? Or is there ever a time that you think, oh, I just want to get out of this world, like take a step back for a while?
I think it was always there,
Yeah.
and I do have breaks. Sometimes you just got to have a vacation from it.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, like to release it from your own brain, and so I I file it away sometimes where I just go, you know what, I want 6 months off from this.
I don't
But
blame you.
then the other side of me is just like, well, I could just, go in there and do a few sessions. But most of the time, if I'm getting into a relationship with someone, is I talk about my spicy life.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll even invite them into my dungeon so that they can observe.
Okay.
But there are, like, I've had relationships where they're not interested in that. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to talk about it, and that's fine. I will respect that. But
Definitely.
you usually, from being trained, you're either going to stay in that level, or the master goes. They just they how do I put this? They recognize, they see it within you, and they help you bring that out. And I kept on going up in levels because I thirsted for that knowledge, and it was not only was it a sexual thirst, but it was also very much an intellectual thirst.
Okay. Have you ever had somebody that you're in a relationship with ask you to, like, didn't like it to the point that they asked you to stop, like gave you an ultimatum, like it's either me or the spacey world?
Yeah, yeah, I have. Yeah, my last relationship.
Oh yeah. Have you ever considered, like, if you ever considered leaving that world for that person, or are you more like that's a deal breaker and you can leave?
They actually left,
Okay.
which crushed me emotionally.
Of
But
course.
then I was able to compose myself enough. I I've always asked this about my, like, to myself. Would I if the right person came into my life, would I allow them to dominate me?
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually talking to someone last night, a really good friend,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just like, if you got into a relationship and it was with basically a gentleman that knew how to treat a woman and it was an equal relationship, would I step back from that work? And I actually sat there and I cried because I'd never been asked that before.
Right.
And if I felt comfortable enough to hand over the reins to someone that I thought would be able to step into my shoes, and you've seen my shoes.
Yes. Your shoes are
Um,
quite fantastic, and I when I could wear heels, I can no longer, sadly. But when I could, I could rock a high heel, but not as high as you. And even if I could walk in those heels, I don't think I could ever run. I would probably break something if I tried. So,
yeah.
mad props for you to being able to wear them, let alone run in them.
It takes practice.
Oh, I
But
bet it does.
if my heart and my mind meet up with each other, and I
Mm-hmm.
know, I think the question was asked before, how you feel. If
Mm-hmm.
if that intellectual with the sexual met in together, then yeah, I would step away from my dungeon.
Okay. What, aside from the sexual aspect of it, have you discovered or rediscovered about yourself due to getting into the BDSM world? Like, have
Oh,
you like like an emotional side of it, not the sexual side of it?
just for myself,
Mm-hmm.
that as much as I really like taking over and being in control of that, I actually would love, absolutely love, and I don't say this to many people,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to just hand the reins over to my partner
Okay. Yeah.
because it has to be an equal give and take, push and pull.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're probably just going, what the hell?
No,
Did
I fully get it. Like you can't one person cannot always be the giver, and vice versa. And it's
Yeah,
very much a give and take, and yeah,
yeah,
I fully understand what you're saying.
yeah,
Would
Okay.
you
yeah.
ever use a cactus?
Well, I want to see this prototype because that would that would be very interesting to use, not on myself, but on my clients.
Listen, I'm just saying you could spank an ass with a cactus. Just gonna
Oh
throw that
yeah,
out there.
fuck. Oh yeah, most definitely. I went out to the local markets and actually bought a box full of cactus because
Cactus Queen for the win!
yeah, like you gave me the idea, and so like I went to the local markets and I sought out and the the vendor. I'm like, how many cactuses do you have? And he just looked at me and I went, he goes, oh, you're going to start up a cacti garden, and I'm like, you could say that.
Mm.
And he's like, so we've got all these different varieties, like the really uh, thick uh, thick spikes to the really fine-haired ones, which it's going to take you like 3 years to get out of whatever places you've been hit with.
Mm.
Talk dirtier to me.
Say more.
Well, come to Australia and come to my dungeon, and I'll show you my cactuses.
I mean, I've already been invited.
I know.
Okay, do you have an embarrassing story about that you've experienced in your dungeon?
Yes.
Can we hear it, please?
It was
Man.
actually, I think it was actually on Little Sinner's live, where I think it was Little Sinner's live, where I was in a session, and you know that you can't hear my clients. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's a privacy and confidentiality. But I had my earphones in, and all you people were talking and stuff, and I think even Dexter was in the live. And I had to keep my composure so much. Like I can be stone faced and give commands and everything like that. And I had all you little fuckers, making me actually lose that persona, whereas I was giggling like a schoolgirl. And to me, that's embarrassing, because I get paid from these clients to do my job, and I had them looking at me and like, "Madam, what?" You know, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to have to use a safe word," and no one understood. And I think what did I come up with? Vampire peaches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, it's my persona. The madam, I've earned my right be to be called a madam. I live that life in my dungeon. I don't live it outside my dungeon unless someone wants to come and step on my toes. And to actually lose composure is probably the most embarrassing thing for me. But for embarrassing in a client sense is actually a very, I suppose like I get invited into a lot of high profile parties and barbecues and stuff like that. And I'd say the most embarrassing thing for me was to see the person that I'd seen, like I'd been, basically, he'd been at my work the night before, and to see him there and to see him drop to his knees in front of me, in front of such high profile people, and I actually dropped to my knees so that everyone thought that it was a game. Does that make sense?
Yes. And that's
Because
actually really interesting.
mm, it's I didn't want to have him seen as
Weak.
the the party pooper, basically. Um, and I mean literally the party pooper. Yes, it was that one.
It was a shitty experience.
Yeah, yeah, but to not be able to say anything and just, like, "Hi, I'm Mim, how you doing? Oh, how do you know him? Oh, I've met him at another party." But to it's very, very, very hard to keep that privacy and confidentiality when you know all you want to do is go, "You're a dirty little fucker,"
Have you ever done that?
once. And that was when I was actually a dom, and I I crossed the line, and I shouldn't have, but damn, he was a dirty little fucker, and damn, he was kinky as hell, and he was bratty as hell, and I broke his spirit in my dungeon. And as I said, aftercare is a very important thing, because they need to be able to be brought back to who they are back in their normal lives. and it can take anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of weeks. So, yeah,
What's the
but
longest an aftercare has taken?
3 months,
Wow.
yeah, because you've got to bring them back mentally, not just emotionally and physically, because some things that I do to people, it takes time to heal, but the psychological side of it, you 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 can put someone in a mental hospital. You can fuck up their mental health if you do not do the right aftercare. Because what their fantasies are and what they want, you've got to have the empathy to be able to bring them back to their own self. And sometimes that's really hard.
Have you ever had a
So,
comment that
guys,
made
I'm
you
going to
feel
come to this
Sorry,
part. If there's any, we're going to give everybody about a minute and a half. Um, if there's any
Yep.
questions, either on my side of the comments or on my wife's side, please ask now or forever hold your peace as we begin to wrap this up. My wife will be continuing on and wrapping up the show from here. So let's be sure
Yep.
to thank our people for coming up in here and having a great first episode of Feral Activity Podcast. Baby, you take it away.
So yeah, we would just want to thank everyone for coming out and, sharing. I know Shadow said she had one more question for you.
Yes.
And so we brought her up. Shadow's part of our little group, and so we definitely wanted to include her. And this is mostly everyone. I think this is the first time you guys have been on a podcast, and so I know for anybody that is interested in being on a podcast, I know I've gotten a bunch of comments and people asking what's going on. If you are interested in being part of the podcast, make sure you send us an email at thecactusqueen69@gmail.com or just DM any of us. We're we're planning to do at least 4 episodes every month. And of course they're always gonna this is the only platform that we're gonna have it like live. But they're always gonna be on Spotify and YouTube on the Fridays. So definitely wanted to give space for Shadow to ask her question. And again, if you're on Monarch side, I can't see any of your comments right now, so if you're asking any questions, make sure you come to my side and give me a heart me. And send your questions. And definitely wanted to also take this time to appreciate Romeo. He did the intro for us, and we'll also be playing the song, the little song that he made for us as we close out the podcast. So Shadow, go ahead, take it away.
Okay, I'm a little nervous, but it's okay. I might word this wrong, but like, how do you like to be dominated versus being dominant? If it's similar, or if that makes
In
sense.
in mind, or like intellectually or
Yeah.
sexually.
Sexually.
They've got to either be like, I like both sexes. I never thought I did, but I do. And a lot of people call me bisexual. I call myself, if someone wants to label it, I'm an opportunist. That's just what I go for. But to allow someone to dominate me, they've got to they've got to earn my respect, just like everyone else, like that gets into a relationship or like for a sexual gratification. If they can't, as I was saying before, if they can't turn me on intellectually, I mean, don't get me wrong, if I see someone that's hot, I'll fucking chase their ass. But to allow myself to be able to remove that madam side, they have to meet my mind and my sexuality together. And if I feel comfortable enough, I will let them dominate the shit out of me. And not literally shit out of me, but yeah, but allow them to take the reins. And it took me quite a while to be able to allow someone to take the reins, because it's very hard to be called a brat or a kitten or a baby girl, because I don't like, in my line of work, I do not and will not tolerate being called that. But if it's behind closed doors and you've got my respect, oh, I'll be your little baby girl. I will be your kitten. I'll role play. And it's a release. It's an absolute release for me, so it doesn't swim around in my head. And if I trust them enough, then dominate the fuck out of me. And not many people know that. Like, it's a very, yeah, it's a very, it's like being, have you heard the term a switch?
No.
Okay, so a switch is where I can go from being the dominant to switching over to being the submissive. And I can play both roles really well. So there's got to be a connection. There has to be a connection.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and if I feel safe letting them dominate me, and I don't want degradation from it or anything else. I want to be that baby girl. I want to be that little purry kitten that is going to be satisfied because that's what they want to do to me. And that takes a lot of trust and a lot of talking out, like talking in a conversation of what my fantasies are, because I'm always the one that's asking what anyone else's fantasies are. But I don't get asked very much because I'm a very closed book unless you earn my respect. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Thank
And
you.
I've actually never told anyone this. This is the first time for me on a podcast or anything on any platform, is to give that side of myself. Like, I don't
Well, we
talk about
appreciate it.
that. No, that's really good. Like, I'm only too happy to, because so many people are either scared or worried if they ask me a question. And honestly, I'm an open book. Just ask. It's my choice whether I answer or not. But I think like this platform is amazing. And thank you for allowing me to be able to give you a little bit of insight into my spicy work, but also into my personal life. And they both balance each other as well.
Yeah, I have one question though. So, or another one. This will be my last one. Um, Even though you do all your spicy work and everything, do most people in your line of work still have like are they in like committed relationships, or like how do your relationships with like your significant other, like how does that work? Like, do you guys like do they can you have one, or is it up to you, or like how does that work?
It's about open communication. If you're not going to have an open communication, they're either going to get jealous or they're going to assume something. And if you can't talk with your partner, your significant other, it can become very entangled because sometimes they want to bring that into your own romantic relationship, and it's very much a juggling act. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I can imagine because, like, it would, you know, it would definitely, if they didn't know or if they had questions or have your personal and your spicy work ever, like, meshed? I know you said that you don't really do that, but has there been any instance where, one of your clients wanted more than just to be your client?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I had this is before my last relationship. I had a submissive that I was so sexually and intellectually attracted to. And we lived the BDSM life in the dungeon, but also at our house. But you wouldn't know that he was a submissive just out in public. And it's very hard. You've got, as I said, open communication. It's very hard not to want to dominate him when he's such a sexy little submissive and he's very obedient and stuff. That I could easily just go drop to your knees and he would. But I've got that respect for him when I was in the relationship, not to do that in public.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm guessing, so we have one question. This is for the whole panel, because it's geared towards women, not just men.
Yep.
But so I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but we have a question that says, why is it so common for women to like bondage? For me, it's become vanilla. So what do you guys think about that, ladies?
Sorry, what was the question again?
Why is it so common for women to like bondage?
I guess I'll start. I wouldn't say it's super common. Maybe people are more into it than they thought. It took me a really long time to realize that that was something that I was into. I think I was more into it, but I was worried what the people that I was with would think of it because it has pretty bad connotations, I feel like, especially after 50 Shades of Grey came out. So, yep.
I'm not really, I mean, I like bondage, don't get me wrong, but I'm not really into that. Like, I enjoy it. Like, Shibari is really freaking cool, but unless it's someone like Mim, I ain't gonna fucking listen to you to begin with, so good luck with that.
Oh, thank you.
At least I'm honest.
Shadow, what do you think?
For me, I don't even know if I like it. I read a lot of smut books, and they always turn me on. So like, I figure I would like it, but I've never tried anything close to that stuff.
Would you like to?
Yeah, yeah. I just can't find anyone that wants to.
The person that commented, he said that it's common for women. My question is, who told you that it was common? Like,
I guess the people he's with, because he said it's becoming
maybe.
vanilla for him.
Hey, not everyone needs to be shoved with a cactus up their ass in order to orgasm, okay?
Because, like, I don't know. I'm the same too. Like, I don't really
I've never
have that
experienced it,
bondage
so
thing. I don't really get it. Oh, he says every single woman that he's been with has been into that. Okay, maybe you're just attracting that. I don't know.
Or
But
maybe you're just vanilla. Don't kink
maybe
shame because you don't like it.
but yeah, I guess it might be coming for you. I think I think probably like Lil Sinner was saying, I think 50 Shades of Grey definitely I think that was probably the first movie or like the first popular movie that kind of introduced a lot of people to something that they probably wouldn't have thought of. And so, oh yeah, that movie too, 365 Days.
Oh
Oh
Yeah.
my
yeah.
gosh, that movie was hot.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
Like, yeah. So I think movies like that, I think kind of they open those, I guess thoughts or doors that you probably wouldn't have thought of. And so maybe it's more common now than it used to be, but um
BDSM has been around a very, very, very long time, and the common everyday woman's role has always been the caregiver. And when something sparks their interest or, kind of gives you a little bit of tingle in your lady garden, then they want to explore that. And, as I said before, it's a trust thing, but some men and some women find it hard to role play, to introduce that into the bedroom, even just in everyday life. And a lot of, especially males, and I'm not having a go at males, have always been the provider, the breadwinner. But there is a lot of men out there that they have the same thoughts as well. And it's about allowing yourself to be able and give yourself permission to be able to have kinky thoughts and fantasies and stuff like that. And a lot of people won't talk about it in relationships or their sexual partner. There has to be open communication. And if there's a couple that want to experiment or even watch, come to my dungeon. I'm only too happy to talk to you, or even in a DM or anything like that, is to uh, you can ask questions and I will try and answer them as best as I possibly can. I don't know everything. I don't say that I know everything, but
I think the
it,
communication is definitely key because, like, for
uh,
me, I've never even like orgasmed before, and I think that's part of it.
okay, interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, I can even make myself do
Wow, you should come and see me.
it.
Because even like there's sometimes where you've got someone that is heterosexual and they didn't know that they had a little lesbian fantasy in their head. That's my job, to bring those fantasies out into the open and to make you not feel used and not feel that you need to feel guilty about what thoughts come in your head and other places.
I also feel like sometimes it's psychological too, because
Oh, most
I,
definitely.
I haven't been able to at all for a few years now, and I definitely think at this point it's psychological.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, psychological has a lot to do with it.
I
It's
feel
kind
like
of,
a lot of men just like the degrading stuff.
yeah, but they're ill-educated in the sexual fantasies and the feral feral things that can come into their mind. And a lot of people feel guilty about that because it's entered their mind.
Well, Shadow, you're not alone because I know I have a relative. I won't say who because I don't want to out them out, but they were married for 23 years and they never experienced one until after either. So, like, I guess it's more common than people really think. But yeah, she was married for 23 years and she never experienced it. And so it's unfortunate. It really is.
Yeah.
Y'all need to explore that lady garden.
But definitely
That's
wanted to
cute.
thank everyone for coming out and asking in more questions. Mim, I think, is going to be a pretty often guest because we have so many more probably questions and stories that we can talk about.
Yeah.
But definitely wanted to thank everyone for coming and all of our panelists. And definitely, check out our next one. If you're on TikTok, it'll be February 2nd, and it's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So definitely put that on your calendars. And we're going to have, we have a few guests that we have lined up. So, and again, if you're interested in being on the podcast, definitely email us, the Cactus Queen 69 at gmail.com, or just DM one of us. And we will definitely put you on the guest list. But any last remarks, ladies?
Nope, I'm good.
I got a cactus and I'm not afraid to use it.
That's why we love the Cactus Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you once again, and hope you guys have an amazing February and end of January.
I'm gonna get it to you straight. If you're not listening to Feral Activity Podcast, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, but you need to stop whatever it is you're doing and go listen to Feral Activity Podcast right now. Right now. It's Feral Activity.